Hello everyone, welcome to the English class again. Today we will continue with the explanation of the Rattrap seller. Last class we have done till helped himself to the food, and so today we will start from the next line, time after time. Let's recapitulate whatever we have done in the last class. In the last class, we have discussed that the Rattrap seller was taken into the house of the iron master because the iron master had mistaken his identity to be one of his regimental comrade. But later on, when he was shaved and bathed and wore a very beautiful dress, the iron master came to know that he had mistaken this peddler to be his old friend. He got very angry and he shouted at the Rattrap seller that he should be leaving the house immediately. It was at that moment when Edla interceded on behalf of the Rattrap seller and allowed him to stay in the house because it was the Christmas time. So the Rattrap seller, he stayed back in the house and he was surprised to find that how Edla was treating him. There was compassion and there was love in Edla's eyes towards the Rattrap seller. So let's continue from here. Time after time, he looked at the young girl who had interceded for him. Why had she done it? What could the crazy idea be? So, this Rattrap seller looked towards Edla, and time and again, he was wondering that why the girl was doing this for him. Okay, because he had never received this kind of treatment from anyone. Now he was allowed to not only stay in the house, but he was seated down into one of the chair and he was given lots of food to eat, good food to eat. So he was thinking that what was the idea of this girl? Why is she doing this thing to the Rattrap seller? After that, Christmas Eve at Ramsdale passed just as it always had. The stranger did not cause any trouble because he did nothing but sleep. The whole forenoon he lay on the sofa in one of the guest rooms and slept at one stretch. At noon, they woke him up so that he could have his share of the good Christmas fare. But after that, he slept again. It seemed as though for many years he had not been able to sleep as quietly and safely as here at Ramsdale. So the only thing that the peddler was doing was to sleep soundly after that. Okay, so it was the Christmas Eve was spent very casual, means very usually, like every year as it is being spelled in this Ramsdale house. So this year also there was nothing new or nothing special. The peddler did not cause any trouble to this iron master's family. Okay, the entire forenoon means afternoon. Okay, so the entire afternoon he lay on one of the sofa in one of the guest room and slept at one stretch. Okay, once or twice he woke up. He was given some good Christmas fare. What is Christmas fare? Christmas fare means a range of food. Okay, good food. So once or twice he was woken up to have food, but besides that, he only slept. Okay, it seemed as though he had never slept as quietly and safely as that particular day. Okay. In the evening, when the Christmas tree was lighted, they woke him up again, and he stood for a while in the drawing room, blinking as though the candlelight hurt him. But after that, he disappeared again. 2 hours later, he was aroused once more. He then had to go down to the dining room and eat the Christmas fish and porridge. So in the evening, the Christmas tree was lighted because it was the Christmas Eve, and he woke up. So he was woken up. He went near the Christmas Eve and he stood there, okay, for 1 or 2 seconds because he was feeling so sleepy and his eyes were full of sleep that he blinked at the Christmas light. For a few minutes he stood there, but then again he went away to that guest room, and in the sofa he again slept. Okay, 2 hours later he was again woken up. Okay, but this time it was to have his food in the dining room. There he was given the Christmas fish and porridge. As soon as they got up from the table, he went around to each one present and said thank you and good night. But when he came to the young girl, she gave him to understand that it was her father's intention that the suit which she wore was to be a Christmas present. He did not have to return it, and if he wanted to spend next Christmas Eve in a place where he could rest in peace and be sure that no evil would befall him, he would be welcomed back again. So, after having the food, he stood up and he went around the table to each and everyone present and just say thank you. Okay, because he could not have expected such kind of treatment, such kind of food, and such kind of sleep during this Christmas time. Okay, so he went around near all the people, like the iron master and the servants that were present in the house. So he went around and told them thank you. And at last, when he came to Edla, when he thanked Edla, Edla told him or assured him that he is very safe, and that if he wants to come again the next Christmas, the next year Christmas, then the house will still welcome him. And the dress that he was wearing, the clothes that he was wearing, it was as if her father is intending that the peddler should take away the clothes, okay, as a Christmas gift, right? So that is a Christmas present to him. And if no evil, if before the next Christmas, year means Christmas come, that is in this 1 year, if nothing wrong happens to the peddler, then the peddler is again welcomed in this house. The man with the rat traps did not answer anything to this. He only stared at the young girl in boundless amazement. So the man did not have anything to answer this, because getting a Christmas present, not only getting Christmas present, not only getting Christmas food, but he is also welcomed the next year in the Christmas to this house. So that was quite something which is unimaginable in the case of the peddler. The next morning, the ironmaster and his daughter got up in good season to go to the early Christmas service. Their guest was still asleep and they did not disturb him. So the next morning, it was the Christmas day, and as per the Christians, they have to go to the church to attend the Christmas service, the Christmas celebration in the church, where there will be sermons and choir singing. Okay, so the early next morning, the ironmaster and the Edla, they went to the Christmas service. Okay, so here is one line that is in good season. What is the meaning of good season? On time. Okay, so they got up on time and they went away to the church. And this guest, that is the peddler, he was still sleeping. Okay, so Edla and the iron master did not think it necessary to wake him up. When at about 10 o'clock they drove back from the church, the young girl sat and hung her head even more dejectedly than usual. Now, what happened? When they were returning back, Edla was very sad. Okay, as she went away to the church very happily, but when she was returning back from the church, as it is given here, at 10 o'clock they were returning back home. This young girl, that is Edla, she was very sad. At church, she had learned that one of the old crofters of the ironworks had been robbed by a man who went around selling rat traps. Okay, why was she sad? Because at the church they had learned that rat trap peddler robbed an old crofter who once worked at their Ramsey ironworks. Okay, so it was a Christmas time, so the crofter also went there and he went on to say the story, because he was very much at a loss that his 30 kroner was stolen away by a rat trap seller, right? Okay. Yes, that was a fine fellow you let into the house, said her father. I only wonder how many silver spoons are left in the cupboard by this time. Now the iron master was very furious. Okay, he went on scolding Edla by saying that, see, you have allowed this thief inside the house. Now let's go and see that all our iron silvers, like all our silver spoons and silver forks, everything would have disappeared, because nothing would have been there. This rat trap seller is actually a thief, and since we have come to the church, our entire house will be robbed away. The wagon had hardly stopped at the front steps when the ironmaster asked the valet whether the stranger was still there. He added that he had heard at church that the man was a thief. The valet answered that the fellow had gone and that he had not taken anything with him at all. On the contrary, he had left behind a little package which Miss Wilmanson was to be kind enough to accept as a Christmas present. Okay? So they thought that by the time they would reach home, the peddler would have escaped with all their silver and other valuables. So when they got home, the iron master asked the valet if the peddler was still there. He also informed the valet that this peddler was actually a thief and that he had stolen from the crofter. Now the valet in return informed the iron master that the fellow had already left, okay, but he had not taken anything with him. Instead, he had left something for Edla. Okay, and even told that Edla should accept whatever was left behind as a Christmas gift. Okay, because it is the rule that once you give a Christmas present to someone, then in return you also have to give. Okay, if you get something from someone, then in return you also have to provide. The young girl opened the package, which was so badly done up that the contents came into view at once. She gave a little cry of joy. She found a small rat trap, and in it there lay three wrinkled 10 kroner notes. But that was not all. In the rat trap lay also a letter written in a large, jagged characters. Okay, so Edla immediately went inside and opened the package and found a rat trap. Okay, now inside the rat trap there were three wrinkled 10 kroner notes and also a letter. Okay, so Edla was very excited to see the rat trap. Okay, now let's see what was written in the letter. The letter, because the rat trap seller is a tramp, okay, so therefore the writing, okay, his handwriting was written in a very large and jagged character, showing that he is not that educated. Okay, so let's read what was written there. Honored and noble miss, since you have been so nice to me all day long, as if I was a captain, I want to be nice to you in return as if I was a real captain. Okay, so the peddler said had written that since Edla had treated him like a real captain, he also wanted to be nice to her. So he is also acting like a real captain. What a real captain or an educated man would have done during this time, or an honorable man would have done during this time. Keep the honor and the virtue of the benefactor, isn't it? Here, Edla is the benefactor of the rat trap seller. She had confident that the rat trap seller is a good man. Okay, she treated him very well. So in return, the rat trap seller also needs to behave in a very honorable manner, right? Okay. For I do not want you to be embarrassed at this Christmas season by a thief. So he had ample opportunity to steal things from this ironmaster's house. Okay. But he did not do so. Right? He did not steal anything. He did not take away anything. Instead, he kept this thing as a gift to Edla. Right? Because he did not wanted to make Edla feel embarrassed. Right? Okay. But you can give back the money to the old man on the roadside who has the money pouch hanging on the window frame as a bait for poor wanderers. So he kept back the money and he wanted that the money should be returned to the crofter. Right? He does not want the money anymore. The rat trap is a Christmas present from a rat who would have been caught in this world's rat trap if he had not been raised to captain, because in that way he got power to clear himself. Right? He further wrote that he would not have been able to escape the rat trap if he had not been raised to the status of a captain. Isn't it? This rat trap is actually a present from a rat. So he considers himself, or he compares himself to a rat. Why he compares himself to a rat? Because he had been trapped. Isn't it? He has been trapped. He has been just like his philosophy says that that the world is a rat trap, and the people who is running after money and after food and shelter, they are all trapped over here. So here, of course, he compares himself to a rat. Right? So this rat trap is a present from that rat who would have been caught in this world's rat trap. He was caught in the world's rat trap. He stole the money from the crofter. He even was tempted to say to the iron master, or did not deny that he is not Captain Von Stall to the iron master. Why? Because he was expecting some money from the iron master. And when he was taken by Edla to the house, he was also tempted by the shelter and the food and the fire that he would get there. So he was tempted by all these baits. But after coming here, the behavior of Edla had completely changed him, isn't it? So if he had not been raised to captain, if he had not been raised to captain means what? Here the man was treated so kindly that he was given the honor just like any person would give an honor to a captain. He was not treated like a peddler or a rat trap seller, because in that way he got power to clear himself. So once he was honored, once he was given that respect, he also got that power that he needs to escape from this rat trap, isn't it? Written with friendship and high regard, Captain von Stell. So at the end, this peddler, he signed himself as in the letter as Captain von Stell. So it means that he was a changed man. He did not sign himself as a rat trap seller, because a peddler is a thief. But here he has become Captain von Stell after coming to this house. So he signed himself as Captain von Stell. Right? So we have completed our explanation of the rat trap seller. Now, if there is any doubt, okay, in this explanation or in this part of the chapter, do clarify. Okay, in my next video, I will be discussing about the question answers of this chapter. Some important questions I will be discussing, and I will also provide a PDF where the important question answers of this chapter will be provided to you. Okay, so study well, students. Thank you.